Hello everyone, myself A.K. working as lecturer in Mechanical Engineering Department, SIT Polytechnic Kedra. Today, in this session, we discuss regarding the remaining practicals of advanced manufacturing processes. In previous sessions, we observed the abrasive jet machining process, which is actually carried out in the different industries. Today in this session, we observe the practical number 3, that is die sinking type EDM machining process. Observe how it is actually carried out in the industry. Experiment number 3 and 4, which is correlated with each other. So let us start. There is the practical syllabus. Already we observed that practical syllabus in previous session. So what is the setup of EDM process? Here all of you observe in this slide, there is the upper portion, there is the servo motor. That servo motor which is connected to the tool electrode, and there is a feed motion which is up and down, which is showing with the help of this arrow. Next one, this one is the dielectric tank, which is store the dielectric fluid. Next one is the dielectric fluid, either it is a kerosene or maybe the EDM oil, which is actually used as a dielectric fluid. Next one is the electrode gap. There is the gap between the electrode and the workpiece. That is the important parameter of this EDM process. Next one is the workpiece, which is holding over this fixture or table. And there is the important thing is, there is the always positive terminal which is connected to the workpiece surface and negative terminal which is connected to the electrode, because actually we want to remove the material from that workpiece surface. For that reason only, there is the positive terminal of DC supply which is connected to the workpiece surface and negative terminal which is connected to the electrode surface. So this much about the construction of the setup of EDM process. How it is actually works, we observe the one short video which is getting clear idea about the EDM process, because due to the pandemic situation we cannot visit to the various industry where actually EDM process is carried out. So to overcome that difficulty, we observe the one short video regarding the EDM process. This is the working of EDM. This one is the animated video how actually EDM works. Whenever the power on, there is the power supply given to this EDM process, and it is actually start for the working. What is the principle of this EDM process? There are the major components. This one is the tool, this one is the workpiece, and it is immersed into the dielectric fluid. In EDM, the workpiece and tool are submerged in a dielectric fluid, and a spark gap of 0.025 to 0.075 mm is maintained between the tool and workpiece. That is a very important parameter while we want to carry out the machining or the EDM process. By power supply, voltage across the spark gap becomes sufficiently large and cause the dielectric fluid to ionize and breaks down to produce dielectric spark between tool and workpiece. For that purpose, maintaining the gap between the electrode and workpiece, that parameter is a very important factor. This spark melts the work surface and vaporizes the material. So due to the high temperature between the electrode and workpiece, there is the material which is melted and removing from that workpiece surface. One more video is available with you. There is the how the actual EDM machining is carried out in the industry. Observe carefully. If you don't understood this type of machining process, you can call me and whatever your doubts are there, I can clear, or otherwise you can better way visit to your nearby industry and observe the EDM machining process. This is marvelous ZNC 250 EDM machine. This type of model is there. It is a programmable type of EDM machining process. This is the open work table guard door where we actually reservoir the EDM oil. Either we can separate from that table also. For that purpose, it is called as a open work table guard door. This one is the fixing magnet pedestal, which is mounting over the table of the EDM machine. Before start the machining, we want to mount the workpiece very rigidly and firmly over that table. Then afterwards we can easily and precisely carry out the machining over that component. For that purpose, install and fixing the magnet pedestal over the table surface of that the EDM machine. Next, once we can fix that magnet, then afterwards we can directly hold that workpiece over that magnet surface by applying the magnetic forces over that magnetic table. Once it is properly held at that required position, we can close that door of a guard of that table, because we want to store or reservoir the dielectric fluid into that tank. For that purpose, it is closed. Next one is the before start the machining, positioning is a very important, where we actually want to machine or where we want to remove the material from that surface. That position is very important. Positioning, under that positioning we want to maintain the electrode gap between the workpiece and the electrode, because that parameter or that factor which plays a very important role in the EDM machining process. For that reason, there is the positioning is a very important factor. In that positioning, we are maintaining the gap between the electrode and the workpiece. Next, open the oil valve, because we want to submerge the workpiece component and the electrode into the dielectric fluid. For that purpose, we want to open the oil valve. So due to which, whatever the oil is present, either it is a kerosene is there or maybe the EDM oil is there, which is act as a dielectric in between the electrode and the workpiece. While both the electrode and the workpiece both are submerged into the dielectric fluid, then afterwards we can start the machining operation. Here, actually, both the electrode and the workpiece both are submerged into the dielectric fluid, due to which there is the there is the spark will be takes place in between the electrode and the workpiece gap, due to which there is the high temperature which will be produced in between the that workpiece and the electrode region, due to which there is a certain quantity of material from the workpiece start melting and removing or separated from that workpiece surface. So this dielectric plays very important role. Whenever the pion or pulse on is there, in that case it is a work as a conductor, and whenever there is the pulse off is there, in that case there is the it is a work as a insulator. So that is the function of that dielectric fluid. So in this way, there is the actually machining is carried out for the EDM process. So this is the continuous machining or continuous spark will be takes place over that surface. So due to which there is a continuous small quantity of material which is separated from that workpiece surface, and at the end we are producing the required shape and size of that component. So this much about the working principle of EDM process, which is actually all of you observe in this video. Next, what are the practical handouts? While this practical is over, all of you, there may be in your nearby area, try to visit in that industry and observe the video and machining practices, how they are carried out in that industry. and afterwards you can write down the whatever the handouts are given at the time of this practical and complete this experiment. There are the some practical handouts are given in this format. All of you prepare these handouts, and there is the important thing is what in these handouts there is the individually visit report is prepared, then and then only you are getting the maximum marks. So this is the format is attached over here. All of you observe this format, and within that format only you can prepare the visit report. So this much about the today's practical session. uh, Let us today stop over here. We will meet to the next practical regarding the wire EDM process. Thank you very much.